Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show for your Monday. It's the 23rd day of June. This is the video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg. Over here is Brett Witkowski filling in for Mike Weibel. Mike's taking a few days during the summer off. He'll be back.
Why not?
He'll be back. And we've got an extreme heat warning in effect until 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night.
Sounds good.
How do you handle the heat? Do you enjoy the heat like this?
I don't mind it.
Do you enjoy it?
No, not when it's this like oven like.
Hmm.
Like when I walked out this morning, like, whew. It's like walking out in a blizzard. It's like, whew, hits you in the face.
Yeah. It was a little bit like that. Even the Russell, my dog, our dog, he took when I opened the door and he went outside, he's like, "Oh, wait a second.
Right.
This is not what I ordered.
It's really cold.
This is not good." The bunny rabbits have been hiding because they don't like the heat. The birds have been hiding because they don't like the heat.
They were waiting for that sprinkler when I turned it on yesterday.
So I have a question. Our sprinkler guy has not come to turn the sprinklers back on.
What?
Well, I think he was waiting until, it was necessary. Now it's necessary. And so I've been threatening to do it myself.
Sure.
Which is concerning Stephanie, my wife.
What, that you put a hose in your yard with a sprinkler?
No, because we have the underground sprinklers. We have the in-ground sprinklers.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And so they get blown out every year and winterized. And now is the time to turn them back on. This is probably about a week ago that was time to turn them back on.
Hurry up.
So when I get home today, I think I'm going to go take a look at them. So you don't have in-ground sprinklers?
No, but if I'm you, I'd just open that valve slow.
Yeah, that's a good.
Don't hammer it.
Hit it all of a sudden.
Yeah, let it fill in slowly so you don't blow anything apart, and then hit the on switch.
Okay.
Do you have them programmed?
There's a thing that has a program. Yeah, they're programmed because you got to water on certain days.
Yeah,
because it's the city.
Right.
They get mad at you if you don't.
Well, and they're going to get mad at your rail.
Well, they're already mad at the rail. They gave us a nasty gram on that.
You get that fixed?
No, not yet. We have until September.
Of course not.
We have until September. But I tell you what, as we walk around the neighborhoods, we do take a look and see who's got a rail, who doesn't, and how many steps they have. Bet they got to notice. Hope they got to notice. Because we want to be consistent.
Correct.
In our application of the rules. All right, it's Monday, June 23rd. I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. Tomorrow on this program, we will have Mike Sorolla in. He's the city commissioner for the city of St. Joseph. Tonight, they're dealing with a whole bunch of issues, including parking again. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah, you looked at the agenda. It's quite long.
It's a very lengthy agenda. They've got a lot to deal with. Public comment. If it goes long on these issues, that's going to take a long time. All right, we'll be right back. We've got news, weather, sports. It's all coming up on the WSJM Morning Show.
They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05. Good morning. It's Monday, the 23rd of June. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning, Brett Witkowski. We've got a lot to talk about. There is an extreme heat warning in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And the reason we talk about that so much is because it's a health issue. And we want to make sure that the folks listening to the program understand and know what to watch for if there's too much heat. So again, the forecast for today does call for sunny, hot, and humid conditions, a high around 94 as far as the thermometer is concerned. But the heat index could bring it higher, maybe even into the triple digits. So that extreme heat warning, what does it mean? Well, dangerously hot conditions with heat index values of around 100 degrees with a maximum around 105 expected today.
Well, the humidity says that's the hard part.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity, says Brett.
No, I'm not that way.
Oh, okay.
When people are like, they go to Vegas, it's a dry heat. Well, so is my oven. It's still hot.
It's very hot. Dangerously hot conditions. This covers basically southwest Michigan and portions of northern Indiana and northwest Ohio. It's in effect until 8 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday. Heat-related illnesses increase significantly during extreme heat and high humidity events, which is exactly what we have right now. Cumulative effects of long-duration heat will likely cause significant impact, especially since it's the first heat wave of the season. Our bodies have not yet acclimated to the heat, so you think you go out there, oh, this is fine. Oh, I'm really enjoying it. Oh, I've got heat stroke. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Drink water on a regular basis. Take breaks. Work in the shade, or better yet, stay inside and catch up on your soap operas and that kind of thing in air-conditioned comfort. Let's see. Drink plenty of fluids, air conditioning, stay out of the sun, check up on your relatives and neighbors. I think that's a good one. And watch the pets, too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave them outside for extended periods of time because, they don't like the heat either.
I did check on my neighbor yesterday.
Did you? What'd you say?
I said, you okay? He lives on a corner by Trinity. And I said,
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. I said, you got an air conditioner? He goes, yeah, I got one. I didn't see one. That's why I asked.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because
Got something in your eye there? Stop rubbing your eye.
No, I got something in my eye.
It's your finger.
I know, but it's like allergies.
Okay.
A friend of mine's got 3 window air conditioners in his basement. So
in his basement?
Yeah.
Why do you have 3 air conditioners? Heat rises.
My guess is he probably got central air. Probably had windows, ACs before.
Oh.
So
they're just sitting there not being used.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he texted me. He said, if you know anybody that needs them.
Fine. All right, let's get to some of the news that we have in addition to the extreme heat warning. So do be careful of that. The United States military action in Iran on Saturday drew quick reaction from our area's federal lawmakers. Republicans praising the president's action, Democrats critical. Congressman Tim Walberg said President Trump took decisive action to eliminate the nuclear program of the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. U.S. Representative Bill Huizenga said the U.S. must ensure Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon and usher in a new age of nuclear terrorism. Democrats a bit more critical. U.S. Senator Alyssa Slotkin said, while it's too early to know the results, a successful strike by our capable military was not the primary question. She says the real question is what happens the day after.
Legit.
Yeah, U.S. Senator Gary Peters said the administration must engage Congress on a bipartisan basis on potential next steps, and that he's concerned about retaliation at home. So we'll continue to watch that, and we'll talk about it some more here in just a few moments. United States and Iran and everything else that's going on in the Middle East. Other news that we're following: Berrien County has lost connection with some funding for broadband expansion. Berrien County Commissioner Terry Freeling says the federal government has implemented new rules for the Broadband Equity and Deployment Program. That's also known as BEAD. That's a program to help connect underserved areas of counties to broadband internet service. Earlier this year, the county backed internet service providers who were seeking part of $1.4 billion in BEAD grants that were available in Michigan. Freeling says the changes mean efforts so far to secure those dollars have pretty much been in vain.
As of now, all applications from the state of Michigan are null and void because of what the reform guidances have come out for BEAD. I sat in on that webinar. They do have a pretty fast and aggressive timeline from the MyHigh office to accept applications once they get everything rolled out.
Freeling said the BEAD program is now putting its focus on more than just fiber technology, also supporting technologies like satellite internet. Since ISPs in Berrien County and around Michigan have focused mostly on laying fiber, their projects are no longer in line with BEAD standards. Freeling said the state is now aggressively working to get new applications for funding available. They say they have about 90 days to do that. Other news: work to prepare Silver Beach County Park for the rush of summer visitors has just about wrapped up, and those who head down below the bluff in St. Joseph might notice a few of the changes. Speaking to the Berrien County Board of Commissioners, County Administrator Brian Doucette said a new feeder lane at the park entrance has been completed, giving cars more ways in.
The new asphalt is in place, the new curbing, gutter, etc. There is also some upgraded sidewalks to ensure that we've got easy access for anyone going in or out of the park. And those sidewalks do include the ADA ramps to ensure that we're fully compliant on that.
Plus, they're putting in some new lighting. Doucette said the city of St. Joseph has also made adjustments to the traffic patterns around the beach. You've probably noticed those. The city's changes have made Broad Street below the bluff a one-way street, so there are lanes to the park. The city has also blocked off one of the sidewalks to the park and rerouted pedestrians to create less foot traffic, competing with vehicle traffic. And with the first day of summer officially last week on Friday, the city and the county will be looking at the results of how things went this weekend and adjusting their strategies as necessary throughout the season. You've been down there.
Yeah, it's okay.
It seemed to be flowing okay.
It seemed to be flowing. It's not backing up, going up the hill
Right.
as you go in. It
Right.
backs up on the other hill.
On the way out.
Yeah, but not as bad as it was going in.
Yeah.
Only thing I couldn't quite understand is why the right lane was blocked.
Was
off.
blocked this weekend. Yeah, I don't know why it was blocked. Maybe there was something drying there. Maybe they put in some new curbing or something like that.
Could be.
I don't know. We'll take a look this week and see if it's back open. Let's see. One other piece of news. Berrien County's 7 senior centers now have their funding for the year approved. The Berrien County Board of Commissioners has signed off on the terms of appropriation for the centers for 2025. Under the county's formula, each of the 7 centers will receive the same amount of funding, all raised with the county's senior center millage. For 2025, each center will receive just under $434,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, commissioners also approved an amendment to the senior center terms, stating that while a given center may charge visitors for specific special programs or activities, none of them may charge membership fees.
Correct.
I think some of them were looking for additional ways to maybe raise revenues, and some talk had gone forward, and they said, no, as long as you got a millage, you're not going to charge a membership fee.
No, and I get that. The challenge has always been some serve a lot more people than others.
Yeah.
But yet they still get the same amount of money.
Well, there you go. There you go. The approval comes just 1 week after the county's senior centers received positive audit results. Berrien County offers senior centers in Benton Harbor, Buchanan, Berrien Springs, Niles, Coloma, Harbert, and St. Joseph. All right, that's a look at some of the local news that we're covering. We've got more to talk about, including what's happening with Iran and the United States, et cetera. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. Right now, we've got sports.
Sports.
Sports. Dave Wolf.
Foosball.
Dave Wolf out today. He'll be back tomorrow.
Foosball.
Foosball. Did you watch any foosball this weekend?
You know what? I did not.
No?
I watched a little WNBA ball,
Oh, okay.
but I did not watch the NBA finals, which,
Sonics won, right?
well, that's where they originally are from. But
Yeah, the
yes.
Seattle Supersonics
Yes.
won. Look at that. Now known as the Oklahoma Thunder.
Yeah, and I thought the guy who had bought them.
What was the name of the Seattle Sonics mascot?
I don't know.
T. Weedle.
T. Weedle.
Yeah, T. Weedle.
I did like their uniforms.
Yeah, they had great
They had
uniforms.
good-
White with green, green with yellow. that kind
And
of
I
thing.
thought a relative of the Uptons was the one who had bought the
Oh,
Sonics.
really?
Yeah, related to
Huh.
the patriotic up top. I don't know if it was a son-in-law or something along that line. And then moved them to Oklahoma City. And really, a lot of times they move a franchise because of poor attendance. Seattle always supported.
Yeah. Yeah, we loved the Sonics. They were doing great.
Yeah. If the NBA were to expand, I would think Seattle would be at the top of the list.
I don't know. Traffic's pretty bad there. Housing prices horrible.
Yeah. It doesn't matter when you're making $8 million a year.
That's true. You're going to use a helicopter, get back and forth. All right. Let's see what else we have going on here. We'll talk about what our allies are saying about the stuff from over the weekend in Iran. Were you surprised about that at all?
No. I mean, I thought when they said, well, we're going to decide in 2 weeks, I thought, well, he's not going to wait 2 weeks.
No.
And then when they talked about all the bombers heading out towards Guam, I thought, we're not that stupid. We're not going to be showing our cards. I figured something else would be popping up.
I just
sooner
figured
rather
it
than
was saber rattling.
later. What's that mean?
Saber rattling. You basically, I've got this saber here and I'm going to rattle it. Don't you go messing around. I've got this saber. And that's what I thought they were doing, kind of with the B-2s flying over the. It's like, well, why would you promote that you're flying B-2 bombers over the
Right.
over the Pacific?
Yeah. And
Just-
then I think the bombers end up coming out of Missouri going east, didn't they?
They did. They went over the Atlantic and came in from the other direction.
And the bombs they dropped can
Oh,
go
the-
through the ground like 200-300 feet, then they explode.
The MOPS, yeah.
That is unreal.
We should talk about the MOPS. Why don't we talk about the MOPS?
From what I was watching yesterday, we're only ones that have that technology, and the only one that have the plane like the B-2s.
We are, and they're pretty cool.
I've seen the SR-71 fly, but never a B-2.
Which one's the SR-71?
Pretty much almost like a spaceship. It's one it can get the highest altitude to use for surveillance. Part of it is it leaks fuel until it gets way up in the air, and all the metal expands and fits into tight in its joints.
Oh, dear. Okay. Right back in just a moment with more on the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning.
WSJM.
Partly sunny, hot, and humid today. We're going to see high temperatures in the low to middle 90s. We do get a nice wind out of the southwest that'll gust up to about 25 miles per hour. Then for tonight, partly cloudy. We stay again in the mid 70s. And tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance of a few showers, high temperatures right around 90. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show on your Monday morning, 23rd day of June. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Brett Witkowski. And what do we have out there? 74 degrees in Benton Harbor and St. Joseph and South Haven, 75 in New Buffalo and at South Bend International Airport. Right now, it is 73 degrees. We're under an extreme heat warning for Southwest Michigan, Northern Indiana, and Northwest Ohio. So there's no escaping it right now.
Nope. It's warm everywhere.
Take adequate precautions and stay hydrated and check on your loved ones. Okay, we've been talking about the attacks that happened over the weekend. The United States dropping some serious weapons, bombs on Iran. And, our allies, let's see what they had to say about that. And then we'll talk about the bomb itself.
What France say? That's the one I want to know about.
France, if you want to know what France said?
I really do.
Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot said France had noted the U.S. strikes with concern. And then they said, we did not participate in this with the United States.
Of course, they never participate.
France has repeatedly expressed its very firm opposition to Iran acquiring nuclear weapons. So while they say we oppose Iran having nuclear weapons, we don't like that the U.S. did this.
Was that sitting on the fence or what?
I'd say Australia. What did Australia say? Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said at a news conference that Iran cannot be allowed to get a nuclear weapon. He said the U.S. action was directed at specific sites central to Iran's nuclear program. We don't want escalation and a full-scale war. I don't think anybody wants that. Adding that Iran had failed to comply with international obligations. They had the International Atomic Energy Agency said Iran. They issued some words about Iran having failed to meet its obligations again. And I think that's what precipitated a lot of this most recent action, because Israel is under the belief, or was under the belief, that Iran was within 2 weeks to 15 days, 14 or 15 days within producing a nuclear grade uranium to produce a weapon, nuclear weapon grade uranium within 15 days. So if their intelligence is correct, then something had to be done, according to the world community.
Well, yeah, and Iran's a country that has said for years or decades, death to America and death to Israel.
Yeah. The United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer urged Iran to return to the negotiating table after the U.S. strikes, saying on Sunday that Iran's nuclear program is a grave threat to international security. He said Iran can never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, and the U.S. has taken action to alleviate that threat. The U.K. did not participate in these strikes. We urge Iran to show restraint. Why are they all rushing to say we did not participate?
Because if it wouldn't be for us, they'd be all speaking German right now.
Japan's prime minister said a de-escalation as soon as possible is more important than anything, but that at the same time, Iran's nuclear weapons development must be stopped. So basically, everybody is on the same page here. Let's see what Saudi.
They all sound like Chamberlain, 1939.
Let's see what Saudi Arabia said. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the kingdom is following with deep concern the developments in Iran and urged the international community to increase its effort toward a diplomatic solution that would guarantee an end to the crisis and lead to turning a new leaf toward achieving security and stability in the region. That's a fence right there, right?
And Iran and Saudi Arabia do not get along.
Yeah, they're all part of the same region, though.
Yeah, but those two have been read up on, and I know you probably have. They have not liked each other. Those two countries.
Let's talk about Qatar. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs warned that the dangerous tensions experienced by the region will lead to catastrophic escalations. Let's say, urged all sides to exercise wisdom and self-restraint and avoid further escalation that would impact people in a region already beset by conflict. And in Kuwait, the Foreign Ministry singled out the United Nations Security Council in a call to honor its responsibilities to maintain global peace and security. Its statement called for an immediate and complete halt of any and all forms of escalation, for a complete ceasefire of any military activity, and for restraint of language and self-restraint. So there you go. Some of the key players in that one. The bombs.
What Mexico and Canada say? Anything?
They said we're happy to be part of the United States. No,
we're the 51st state.
No, they didn't say that.
I know.
The United States used more than a dozen of these multi-million-dollar, 30,000-pound bunker busters. I mean, outside of your house, what in the world can you look at and say that weighs 30,000 pounds? I mean, these bombs,
right?
Obviously, and we all got to look at them. If you saw any of the coverage whatsoever, any of the pictures or video, they used more than a dozen of these bombs, $30,000 bunker busters, to bomb Iranian nuclear facilities. Let's see, it was Operation Midnight Hammer. And hammer, these things are hammers. They're called MOPs, Massive Ordnance Penetrators, also known as a MOP. They weigh 30,000 pounds each. They cost millions of dollars to produce. They're also known as the Guided Bomb Unit, the GBU-57. They're GPS-guided weapons. They burrow deep into underground targets, including fortified tunnels or bunkers, and the bombs are around 20 feet long and span 6 feet at their widest point.
Wow, 6 feet wide.
6 feet wide at their widest point and 20 feet long, and they still weigh 30,000 pounds.
What are they packed with?
Explosives.
I know, but like what?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Boeing makes them. The Department of Defense in 2019 gave Boeing a $70 million contract to work on these weapons at their St. Louis facility. The company won updated contracts for MOP production worth more than $77 million in 2021. This is the largest B-2 strike in history. The B-2 bomber is the only aircraft capable of carrying these MOPs. Each bomber can hold a pair of the bombs, 2.
Because they're that heavy.
They're that heavy. Can you imagine? 7 B-2 bombers flew the 14 bombs to Iran from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. And as we learned over the weekend, more than 125 aircraft were involved in the mission.
So probably refuelers. What
There
else?
were refuelers, there was support, there was security.
Escorts.
Yeah, all that stuff. It was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown. The Air Force ran 5 successful test drops of the bombs at New Mexico's White Sands Missile Range in 2012, 3 with live warheads, 2 with inert warheads.
They said Iran didn't even fire back.
They didn't. They did not detect a single shot fired at the planes that were involved in the operation, either on the way in or on the way out.
You know, if it were not for oil, would anybody even care?
What do you mean
about that region?
Well, I mean, come on.
I'm serious.
Of course we would care.
I don't know.
You care about everything. But you know, you look at some of the areas where they've got this, and this one, I mean, you know, Iran often claims, "Oh, this is just civilian. We're just making things for civilian reasons."
For our nuclear, we're building the Palisades.
Building a Palisades nuclear power plant. But I mean, this was at Fordo. That it's up in the mountains. You know, Iran has a lot of mountains.
A lot
of mountains. And so it's up in the mountains, and it looks like basically everything's at ground level or below.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's hidden. And so they said, well, I mean, Israel, they have their own bunker buster bombs, but they're nowhere near what we have.
Does Israel have nuclear weapons?
I don't know if Israel has a nuclear weapon. Why don't you look that up?
Hey, Ken, Does Israel have nuclear weapons? Let me see what it
You've
says.
renamed your artificial
Yes.
intelligence. Thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, so tensions are high right now, as people, the world basically awaits to see what Tehran is going to do, or if they do anything in response to the U.S. strikes over the weekend. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. What else do we have? What'd you find over there?
Between 90 and 100 warheads.
Huh? Are they large? Does it say?
Hey, Ken, are they large?
Okay, fine. Speaking of attacks, did you see this happen in Michigan over the weekend? A man
I saw that
yesterday.
church.
Yeah, a man opened fire outside a Michigan church. This is over in Wayne, Michigan, near Detroit. A man opened fire outside a Michigan church filled with worshipers on Sunday. He didn't live long after that. He was struck by a vehicle and then fatally shot by security staff, who are now credited with averting a potential mass shooting at the church.
Didn't he drive his vehicle into the church?
Churchgoers attending a morning service at Cross Point Community Church in Wayne spotted the gunman driving recklessly, and then saw him exit his car wearing a tactical vest and carrying a rifle and a handgun. That's what police said at a news conference yesterday. The man began firing as he approached the church, striking one person in the leg. A parishioner struck the gunman with his vehicle. As the gunman shot the vehicle repeatedly, at least 2 staff members shot the gunman, causing fatal wounds. Now, police described the suspect as a 31-year-old white male with no known connection to the church. His motive remains unclear. And the police chief said it appears he was suffering from a mental health crisis. Well, you don't have to guess far for that one, right? The shooting occurred at 11 a.m. in Wayne yesterday. It's about 25 miles west of Detroit. The person who was shot in the leg was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and no one else was hurt.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, the police said a church member ran the suspect over with a pickup truck, and that gave security staff time to shoot him. The chief said, "We're grateful for the heroic actions of the church's staff member who undoubtedly saved many lives and prevented a large-scale mass shooting." They said about 150 people were inside the church at the time. And it was about the time that the church mass was going to start. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, sadly it is. Just, and I think as a country, we need to pray more to get through a lot of these things. We cannot solve our own problems.
No.
We've been proven we can't.
7:29 WSJM Morning Show continues. I'm Ken Lundberg. Brett Witkowski's over there in the co-host chair today, and we've got more news coming up. Our latest financial information from Bloomberg, our world and national news from ABC. We'll have the latest local news preview coming up from our WSJM newsroom. Plus sports. Tigers won last night.
Yes, 9-3 yesterday afternoon.
9-3.
Yesterday
afternoon. Okay. 7:29. We've got more on the WSJM Morning Show next, including the robot taxis. They're about to take the streets.
So, you want a free check?
Yeah, so let's see. On our video live stream, Bernice is active this morning. Good morning, Bernice. It's good to see you. Bill says good morning. Good morning, Bill. Bill, did you have a good weekend? Do some racing? Bernice, good morning. Happy Monday to you too. Yes, it's warm everywhere. I'm glad you call it warm, Bernice, because it's hot. It's gross outside. What are you doing over there? You playing Candy Crush? What are you doing?
No, doing work.
No, you're just texting.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
Work.
Well, tell us. I mean, is it about roads and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Just work.
What happens to the roads when it gets this hot? Do our roads ever buckle in the heat? How hot does it have to be for our roads to buckle?
I don't know. Good question. Never asked it and never had it come across the desk.
I saw some news footage of one of the hot spots. I don't know where it was. I'll find out. Where the road buckled 18 inches. And they show a little minivan or
Was
a
that
PT
in
Cruiser
Texas or something?
going right over.
Is that in Texas or something?
I told you I'd look it up. Let's see. Yep. Cape Girardeau. No, Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. Road buckles due to heat wave, sends car airborne. Cape Girardeau. Yep, happened yesterday. Well, do you tamp down the roads?
I don't know what you would do.
They get hot, just go tamp them down.
I don't think you can do that. Probably got to shave them off.
We used to have, so in Washington, D.C., people used to go around. They'd pull up to your house if they saw you outside and say, hey, can we tamp down your shingles in the heat?
Really?
It's like, well, what do you mean? Well, it gets hot. They raise a little bit. Can you want us to tamp down your shingles? They were just trying to steal money.
Oh, I see.
Get in your house, steal money, take money and they would probably destroy your roof because it's so hot up there.
Yeah.
You're just sliding off the asphalt.
Yeah, I would think so. Boy, people are not afraid to con other people, are they?
They're trying.
Sad. I don't know how you live with yourself.
Well, it's not me. I'm not doing it.
I'm talking about them.
Okay. All right. Are you here? We're on the video live stream.
I know.
Quit playing on your phone.
I got work. I got issues.
Why didn't you work over the weekend?
I do. I got issues going on now.
Uh-oh.
This happens.
Okay.
They're out trying to do stuff and it's hot. So.
Oh, give them the day off.
No. We do.
Isn't there indoor work you can do when it gets real hot like this?
There's some, but I mean, we just gotta. They're out. They got out early, and hopefully they can get through it.
Okay.
And their bodies are used to it. They're hard workers. They're used to the elements.
All right. Well, take care of them. Did you do anything fun this weekend at all?
No, not really.
No.
Just trying to think.
I had the turtle
yard,
incident.
Worked in the yard a lot. What's that?
I had the turtle incident.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let's see what else.
On video of it. That's the disappointing part. Your wife next week. We gotta get with her on these things.
Let's see. Did I do anything outside? I felt like I did something outside. I broke down a box.
Wow.
Yeah, I broke down
Impressive.
a box. I put it in the recycle bin and everything.
Yes. Impressive.
No, and I barbecued a couple of times. Let's see. Barbecued salmon last night. That was real good. The grill marks came out real nice. I was impressed. I feel
so fish is allowed.
Pescatarians can eat fish. Yeah.
A what?
Pescatarian.
Is that a religion? Presbyterian? Is that what you said?
No, pescatarian.
What's that?
Where you can eat fish and vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that different than? I thought you're a vegetarian.
For most people, it's easy for them to understand you're a vegetarian.
Okay, I get that.
Who eats fish, which makes you a pescatarian. As you know, as I'm sure.
Hey, Ken, what is a?
Look it up, pescatarian. But as most people will know, I mean, it's very difficult to get protein if you don't eat meat, and so fish happens to be obviously a good high protein item. And they don't smile, so it's easier to eat them.
Well, they have feelings too.
I'm sure they do. You ever hear those?
Here you are.
Yeah, pescatarian. I was right. Vegetarians who eat fish. Did you ever hear about the? And then I think we had pizza one night. Can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. Got some good pizza.
I had a big burger on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, you went to Rye Bell's.
Right.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. They were busy.
You had impossible meat.
The impossible meat. What's that mean?
We'll be back in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
In Texas this weekend, the first rides were offered to a group of hand-picked online influencers. Overall, the service gets underway with just 10 to 20 cars in an area several square miles wide. Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:35. It's the WSJM Morning Show for Monday, June 23rd. Brett taking some heat on the video live stream.
I am.
Yeah, because you're playing on your phone.
I
over
am
there.
not playing my phone.
You're working.
It is work.
You're working.
I get 110% promise. It's all work. Trust me.
We've got 75 degrees in Benton Harbor right now.
Work.
75 in St. Joseph. South Haven is 74 degrees.
I hate HR issues.
Oh, it's an HR issue.
Ugh.
You're not supposed to talk about HR issues.
I'm not talking about who it is.
All right.
Nothing.
Okay.
I hate them.
Okay. Yeah, you got to deal with them though.
I know, but I still don't like them.
Just ask AI to help you solve it. 74 degrees at the South Bend International Airport right now. A reminder, we are under extreme heat warning right now. Not even just a watch, but a warning. What does that mean? Well, we are experiencing, and we will experience today, dangerously hot conditions with a heat index value of somewhere between 100 and 105 degrees in the area. Boy, I got a call from one of my boys, Sawyer. He's doing the second part of his volunteer stint in Chicago this week, and he called me yesterday. He said, "Dad, it's so hot."
Volunteering doing what?
They're helping out with a daycare that focuses its efforts on helping single moms who want to go to school get either their GED or their college degree and better their lives, but can't afford daycare. And so he's helping out with that. His college, University of Michigan and others raise money for this particular organization throughout the year, and then during the summer they have an opportunity, if they want to go help in person. And so Sawyer is doing that. So
Good for him.
Yeah, very proud of him.
Always good to give back.
Absolutely. So anyway, he said it was really hot, and I said drink plenty of water. He said, "Got you covered. It's really hot."
No air conditioning?
No air conditioning.
Really?
No air conditioning.
That it would be
And
tough.
Chicago, because you're in an urban area where it's
Yeah,
even warmer.
It would be tough, and if you go like a high rise,
Oh yeah, it's not a high rise.
floor.
Yeah, he's not in a high rise. He showed me pictures.
but it's so we have window air conditioners, and we had not put the one in the downstairs bedrooms, yes, but not downstairs. And Amy had went to visit our daughter, son-in-law and grandson in Wisconsin, was coming back, and I'm just like, I gotta get this thing out of the basement. This is getting oppressive.
Yeah.
And I did. I got that baby up the stairs by myself.
All by yourself.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I got it in the window.
Nice. Did you mess up any of the fins on the back, the little cooling
Mm-mm.
fins? Good.
No, I got that down pretty good.
Okay.
But it's like a family ritual.
Did you drop it out the window?
Nope, never
Okay.
done that.
You might think about central air.
We don't have any ductwork.
Put in some ductwork. Quack, quack.
No.
Okay.
We got radiator heat.
Okay. That's
like
fun.
that.
Yeah, I like that too. All right. So back to the issue of the day, the heat. Portions of northern Indiana, southwest Michigan, and northwest Ohio are under this heat warning, extreme heat warning. It's in effect until 8 p.m. tomorrow. And so they say heat-related illnesses increase significantly during times like this, the extreme heat and high humidity events. We've got both of those things. And there's a danger of cumulative effects as well of long-duration heat, likely causing significant impacts, especially since this is the first heat wave of the season. And we get very little relief overnight because
That's the difference.
we'll open the door just before 4 a.m. this morning, and it's like, poof,
Yeah.
big wall of heat came in.
I agree.
So drink plenty of fluids, stay in air-conditioned rooms, stay out of the sun, check up on relatives and neighbors, take extra precautions if you have to be outside, wear lightweight and loose-fitting clothing, even light clothing. You wear white versus wearing black.
What's red qualify as?
I mean, it's lighter,
Lighter.
but you're still absorbing some heat there. Try to limit your strenuous activities, as Brett does every day, to early morning.
Hey, now.
No. I'm just kidding. Limit strenuous activities to early morning or evening. Take action when you see symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. That means basically go back in where it's cool, drink some water, and take it easy. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
You
man.
good? You
I'm
got
good.
that?
I'm good.
All right. Let's see. We've got some of the news that we have from ABC. That is up right now.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Pentagon experts are continuing their assessing of how much damage the Saturday U.S. air attacks did to Iran's nuke program. Iran's foreign ministers in Moscow to meet with Russian President Putin. ABC's Andrew Dimbers.
Here at home, law enforcement also on high alert. Homeland Security warning state and local officials of a heightened threat environment.
Nearly 50 heat records for this day could be equaled or broken, forecasters say. About 150 million Americans are under heat alerts from Texas to Maine. A lot of folks have much to clean up, says ABC's Allison Cossack.
New York's governor issuing a state of emergency for more than 30 counties after heavy rain and dangerous flash flooding slammed parts of the state. Outside Utica, at least 3 people were killed, including 6-year-old twins. The violent weekend of weather stretching across the country.
Took 7 games, but the Oklahoma Thunder beat the Indiana Pacers and are the new NBA champs. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
741, some of the news that we're covering at 8 o'clock in your local newscast. Southwest Michigan is being hit with a heat wave. Temperatures in the upper 90s. Heat index even higher, maybe going triple digits. People are reminded, protect themselves from heat-related illness. We'll have some tips from Corewell Health in St. Joseph. There's an emergency room doctor there who tells us when it's really hot, you got to take it easy. So we'll talk about that. That's coming up at 8 o'clock. Also, St. Joseph City Commissioners are meeting tonight. They're going to consider a resolution to formally put that pause on the downtown paid parking program. We know they already paused it due to their examination of a legal issue, whether or not they're ADA compliant. But this, they say the City Commission's vote tonight will make that pause more official. Why do you need to make it more official? I don't understand that.
Because I think it was generated by the manager, which then
right.
So I think,
why didn't she bring it as a motion right then and there? Because they talked about it at a meeting, at a city commission meeting.
That I don't have an answer. I just heard from business owners they want the next step to it.
Oh, the business owners want this pause.
That's what I heard. Not again,
okay.
That's not,
okay. That because I think of it, and if a city commission vote happens, then it's harder to undo.
That is correct. Yeah.
Rather than just have the city manager start and stop the deal.
Correct. And I think that might be, from what I heard, part of that.
Put everyone on the record. I get it. Okay. Politics are fun stuff.
Parking has really dominated this summer, hasn't it? It's just amazing. I mean, you think about the world, right?
Yeah.
And everything's going on.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a blessing in one aspect that your biggest problem
you have to worry about is parking. Yeah.
And then the other part is there's so many other
Aren't there other things we could be dealing with? Okay. Well, anyway.
That's just me. Sometimes I find it humorous and sometimes it's like, okay.
Head scratching. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that, and we'll be covering that meeting tonight. And one other news story we'll tell you about in the 8 o'clock hour is Benton Township plans for a new park to be constructed near the intersection of Euclid and Laurel Avenues. Leaders are also taking steps to clear the surrounding area. We'll tell you a little bit about what that means. That's all coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Also, Cornerstone Alliance is coming in next hour, and they'll be bringing a special guest. Alex Little will be coming from the city of Benton Harbor, so we'll look forward to that. That's coming up next hour right here on the WSJM Morning Show, 744.
The Michigan News Network.
Okay, back on the video live stream.
Was part of what Benton Township wanted the school tore down too?
Yeah, they did. And part of that is because Supervisor Kathy Yates says demolishing abandoned schools is a priority because they're a danger.
They are. And Benton Harbor School needs to dispose of these things.
And I thought, and I asked Andrew to look into this, I thought that the former superintendent, well, soon to be former superintendent, Kelvin Butts.
Who's a finalist for Covert?
Is he going to be a finalist?
Mm-hmm.
I know he was applying.
Yeah, they published it. I think he was one of 3 or 4 they were going to talk
about.
There
were 5.
Was it 5? Okay.
There were 5 or 6 that they had talked about, and he was listed among them. I don't know if they narrowed the list down further to make him a finalist.
Yeah, I have not seen other than the one list that you had.
All right. But the I thought Kelvin Butts, the superintendent, had put out a survey to the surrounding municipalities to say, hey, here's our inventory. What are your thoughts on these pieces that might be in your area? And I never saw what the outcome of that was. If they were thinking, well, we could use it for our different purpose, or we'd like it demolished and we'd like to build a park, or we'd like to buy it from you. I don't know. I don't know what the outcome of that was.
Benton Harbor Schools has held on to numerous abandoned school buildings. And I think every school district will like to grow, but if you're going to grow, are you really going to open up a 75-year-old school building that's been mothballed for 20 years? The answer is no. I mean, to me, sell them or tear them down. And go after grants to get them tore down.
Yeah, and then
there has been grants through the state land bank to tear down blighted structures.
Yeah,
as in modern plastics.
Yeah, that should be coming down this summer. I think they're suffering a little bit of a delay.
That's normal with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Haven't done that so much. It's never goes as quick as you want. I can promise. And that's not because anybody's not doing their job. It's usually they find more things that just have to be addressed.
Oh no. I'm looking at USA Today and I just saw a story that I didn't want to see.
What's that?
Killer bees keep spreading across the US. This is not good.
Didn't they come out of Mexico originally?
You know, some of them came out of they came from the south. And I thought some of them wasn't there an Asian murder hornet?
Yeah.
Isn't that where that one came from?
Darn
And
illegals.
that sucker was like this big.
I sprayed for
Oh,
bees
and there's
yesterday.
Africanized honeybees, often called killer bees, are now found in 13 states, and they're slowly spreading northward, and they do attack people, livestock, and pets. In the last, this is according to a report.
Doesn't a frost kill them, though?
This is what I'm seeing on USA Today. In the last 3 months alone, a man mowing his property died after a bee attack. 3 people were taken to a hospital after tree trimmers disturbed a colony. Hikers ran a mile to get away from an agitated hive.
I wouldn't have made it.
And a woman with 3 horses.
If I had to run a mile, I'd be dead.
A woman with 3 horses were swarmed by bees, spooked by a lawnmower. The horses later died from thousands of stings.
How far north are they now? Does it say? I thought
Let's
the
see.
frost got them. That was our only salvation.
Don't they hibernate though? Can't you hibernate?
I could if I was allowed.
Yeah, I like hibernating. Let's see. So Texas. So they're talking about the southern states here. I'm looking for a list of the states. Africanized honeybees don't survive in areas with cold winters and don't like high levels of rain, making for natural cutoffs in areas where the temperatures fall. So that's
another reason to move to Michigan. That's what we can put on our sign.
as we're under an extreme heat watch or a heat warning right now.
No killer bees.
Let's see. By 2050 or so, with increasing temperatures, we're going to see northward movement, mostly in the western half of the country. So again, still looking at Michigan as a good opportunity. Yeah. So they're coming up through California, it looks like, and they could put in Texas and that kind of range. They could move into southeastern Oregon, the western Great Plains, southern Appalachian Mountains. Oh, that's not good.
No, that's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good.
What's that?
That's you.
Why do you turn that on?
I don't know.
All right. Let's see. We'll have
Stupid.
to do. No, we appreciate Brett. You going anywhere this summer? You getting any summer vacation in?
Branson.
Really? Going to
Yeah.
Branson, Missouri?
We got everybody going.
Who's everybody?
Amy, both daughters, their husbands,
Oh, that'll be fun.
grandson, mother-in-law.
Wow.
We all carpooling down.
Oh, you're driving down.
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. How far?
we're
How
gonna
far of a drive is that?
I think 10 to 12 hours. Then my
10 to
brother
12
passed-
hours in the car with you?
Yeah.
I mean, driving.
Of which the car had to take it to the shop over the weekend. So I got to call my mechanic on the way.
Which car? Which
What's
car?
that?
Which car?
A Dodge Journey.
Oh, okay.
We have that we usually use when we go out of town and stuff. So, no, we're going to have a great time. We're going to
That'll be
And-
fun.
got an Airbnb for all of us to stay in.
Wow.
So very thankful. Then this weekend, everybody will be home.
Oh, all the kids?
Yep.
Grandkid?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Back in just a moment. It's the WSJM morning show. It's 7:50.
June 24th at 6 p.m. Sponsor limited. Register now at wolfwebinars.com. That's wolfwebinars.com. Securities and advisory services are offered through USA Financial Securities. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. For specific estate planning advice, please consult a qualified estate planning attorney.
When it's important to you, it's important to us. Wolf Financial Advisory.
Partly sunny, hot and humid today. We're going to see high temperatures in the low to middle 90s. We do get a nice wind out of the southwest that'll gust up to about 25 miles per hour. Then for tonight, partly cloudy. We stay again in the mid 70s. And tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance of a few showers, high temperatures right around 90. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
76 degrees now in Benton Harbor, 75 in St. Joseph, 75 in South Haven. Sunny skies out there, and we've got our Moody on the Market update to cool you down. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles.
I heard my ad.
Oh, did you hear your ad?
Yeah.
Brett has done a testimonial for Insurance Management Service because you got in a big, serious wreck while you were in Wisconsin.
Horrible. Should have been killed, to be honest. That's
Well,
how
I'm
bad
glad
it
you
was.
weren't.
Nope,
We're all glad you weren't.
Well, I'm not sure if everybody is.
We're
but
all glad you weren't. And your insurance company is Insurance Management Service. They took care of you?
on a Sunday night.
On a Sunday night, they took care of you.
Yep.
Okay.
Numerous times to make sure we got all set.
You recommend them?
Without a doubt. I got all our houses, everything with them.
Very nice.
Business.
Tarek helps you?
Yep.
Okay.
And Tarek knows I shop every few years too.
Oh, you shop around. Just make sure
Yeah.
you're getting a good rate.
But to Tarek's credit, he's ahead of the curve, to be blunt. I mean, he'll get up hold of me and say, "Hey, I found cheaper prices for you."
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice. Okay.
But that's, and I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
this,
go
but I
ahead. Go
am.
ahead.
That's a negative.
By all means.
That's a negative when you go online. I think when you
What's
go
that?
get insurance online.
Yeah.
And same with banking. When I was treasurer, I told people, just bank local. If you got a problem, you can walk and talk to them.
Right. Yeah.
You bank and do something alone, some company on the online, something goes wrong. You really think they care about you as a person?
Yeah. Try getting a hold of somebody.
Exactly. But no, insurance management, and I did shop around originally back in the day. I think, but
This is a long story.
Well, I'm just
go
trying to help your Moody on the market.
No, we appreciate that.
But I would recommend people at least give them a chance to quote you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that information. Moody on the Market update now. The real update.
The one that really matters.
The real update. One of the articles we have posted up there right now, celebrating another milestone in the effort to construct a roadside trail all the way from New Buffalo to Bridgman. So a new milestone has been reached, and Friends of Berrien County Trails, they're enlisting harbor country businesses to help celebrate next weekend. Marcy Hamilton with the Southwest Michigan Planning Commission tells us they're holding a ribbon cutting for the first 8 miles of the Red Arrow Linear Trail. That's coming up this Friday. She says the trail now connects Sawyer and New Buffalo. She says this is probably almost the longest segment of trail now that we have within Berrien County.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably almost the longest segment of trail now that we have within Berrien County. So that's a pretty big accomplishment. And we're working to extend it to the south to connect to the Marquette Greenway. Yeah, supporters will gather at 10 a.m. on the 27th at Red Arrow Highway and Lakeside Road in Chickiming Township for the ribbon cutting. The next day will be the Red Arrow Trail Day, a chance for businesses along Red Arrow Highway to celebrate the progress that's been made. They say all the businesses are coming together to offer different specials and discounts or giveaways, all in celebration of the opening of 8 miles of Red Arrow Trail from Sawyer down to US 12 near New Buffalo. I love trails.
So is it a bike trail or walking or both?
Have you been on it?
No, I have not.
It looks like it's both.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so you can bike it if you want to. Probably walk on it. The bikers yell at you.
Can you ride electric bikes on trails?
I don't know. You
I
really
know-
think you can chat GPT this morning?
Hey, Ken, because I know you can't like ride a motorcycle, but where does electric bike falling? Because those are really getting popular.
It probably
I
gets.
want one.
You want one of these things?
I do.
It kind of defeats the purpose. I think there's a speed issue
Is there?
to be concerned with, but you're right. I mean, they're making these electric bikes that go faster and faster.
Yeah, I've seen them humming around town a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I did ride my bike Saturday.
Did you?
My quads.
I
killed me.
saw Pat Moody riding his bike. Pat and Carol were riding their bikes
for
on
them.
Saturday. Yeah.
Pat still down there on Jefferson.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yep. All right, that's your Moody on the Market update. So if you want to read that full article, get all the details. We have a link as well where you can learn more information about the businesses, the 17 businesses and organizations that are doing something special on this weekend for Red Arrow Trail Day. Check it out. It's at moodyonthemarket.com. Your Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We've got news coming up from ABC and our local WSJM newsroom in a moment.
Insurance Management Service, your local.
All right, back on the video live stream. What's the HR issue? You probably can't talk about it. You probably can't talk about it.
No, that's the one thing I've just never have enjoyed.
People.
No, it's just HR issues. Everything else is totally fine.
Yeah,
but
that's all part of the game.
It is part of it and goes with the position, and you just gotta make sure, just work with people and try to get what's best.
Absolutely. Let's see, what do we got here? We got that. We got that. Yeah, those electric
64
bikes.
64 people is a lot.
Oh, is that how many you manage?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I have HR person.
Do you manage or do you lead?
Lead.
Okay, good.
Yep.
You should. Very good.
Yep.
64 people. That's a good size. But how many miles of roadway do you take care of in Van Buren?
1,300.
That's a lot. 1,300 miles. 1,300 miles of roadway in Van Buren County.
Yep.
And then you also do work with the other municipalities within, right?
Yeah. So cities and villages are allowed to contract with us. And so we do, like Breedsville, which is a small village. We're actually their public works.
Oh, wow.
But we do contracts, I think, with just every city and village. I know we do in the county. We do something for them.
Good. Do you implement my idea yet? Excuse me.
If I remember what it was.
The glow in the dark striping, the lane, the lines.
It's not glow in the dark, but it is more reflective.
Okay, that's fine.
It is. If you go down Blue Star Highway, which is extension of M63, we paint that. It is brighter at night.
Okay, good.
Yep.
It's about time.
I agree. I agree.
No, I like the reflective. Because, I mean, you've been on roads where you drive it in the middle of the night, especially if it's been raining. You have no idea where the road is.
Nope, I agree. I totally agree.
The S-curves coming out of Grand Rapids, same thing. When they were doing the construction there,
it's
like, where's the road? I have no idea where the road is.
And I think the reflectors that are on all the signs, I think the reflectors get changed every 13 years. That's the cycle. I think that's what they were telling me.
Every 13? Why so frequently?
Yeah.
All right, we got to get back to the show.
10,000 of those.
Thank you all for joining us on the video live stream. Hopefully, some of you are enjoying it on the WSJM Smart app.
Oh, yeah.
On the Smart app. Are you checking out the Smart app? Make sure it's still working.
Is there a difference between app and a smart app?
Yeah, intelligence. WSJM Smart app. There you go. Look it up.
75.9.
Right. The temperature outside right now. So 76 degrees.
Sometimes point and other times it doesn't show it.
Because sometimes they round, I guess. Here, back in just a moment on the WSJM Morning Show.
This is WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
What's the temperature say on the WSJM Smart app?
75.9.
75.9 degrees. Good morning. It's Monday, June 23rd. I'm Ken Lundberg. Over here is Brett Witkowski. We have an extreme heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. tomorrow. So that means all day today, all overnight, all day tomorrow. It's going to be uncomfortably warm, and you're going to want to take adequate precautions. That includes shade, air conditioning, if you got it, and water as well. We'll be back in just a moment. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. This morning, Pentagon experts are continuing their assessing of how